every minute. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to today's Power Hour. I'm here along with my co host, Miss Renee Rand. And as you know, March is International Women's Month, and the theme is Give to Gain. So, what does that mean? It means mentorship, it means opportunities, it means advocacy for women, with the idea that supporting women ultimately benefits society and future generations. So, you
Absolutely.
know what? What are some of the examples of give to gain actions? It mentoring women and girls, and funding women-led initiatives and supporting women entrepreneurs, sharing opportunities and education. And you know what? I think that's really a great thing to do. We have mentoring women and girls, which is really big. We have funding women-led initiatives. There's many, especially supporting women entrepreneurs, and the list can go on and on and on. But you know what? We have some great news today, and I will let my co-host share that. But I want you to remember to like, share, and follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Power Hour. So, Miss Renee, without further ado, if you can give us that fabulous, great news.
Absolutely. Well, we do have a winner of a little self-care package for our 850th person that joined our group this past week. So we're pretty excited about that. You have her name there, don't you, Veronica?
I do, and that winner is, and I hope I'm saying her name correctly, Taraya Gibson. Yes, she is number
Awesome.
850. Yes, oh, it's so
So
fabulous.
Taria,
That's really great.
yeah, pardon us if we're crucifying your name or whatever, but please direct message one of us so that we can get your address and send you out a real fun little self-care package. And just we want to keep doing this, so make sure that you're sharing the link and on our group, and we're growing. We're going to give away a lot more goodies and a lot of stuff going on. But when we're talking about the women this month, first thing that flashed into my mind was growing up, I was a rainbow girl. And if
Oh,
you
what
don't know
was
what
that?
rainbow girls are, they're like a formal type Girl Scout type of,
Mm.
it's a Masonic youth group. So for rainbow
Ah,
girls, your father had to be in Masons in order to join, or you had to be a friend of a rainbow girl to join. And I spent that age group from 12 to 20 doing service work and charity work. And that's basically how I got a lot of my background on being supportive and doing things to help serve other people, and why I have such a love for it today, I'm sure. Um, it was cool because we dressed up in formals and we did a little, little meetings where we had little ritual type things with the rainbow colors and all the stuff going on, and it was a lot of fun. It really was. And we did lots of great service projects. We raised money for seeing eye dogs one year. We had a
oh,
international organization. It was very cool. And the organization over these years, I would have had my about 5 years ago would have been my 50-year reunion from being a grand officer in the state of California for Rainbow Girls. But the organization is very different today. Kids have so much to do today, and they're on their tablets and they're on their phones. Back then we were looking for events and things to do and ways to stay busy, to stay out of trouble. And so we did
right.
that through service projects, and we did so many fun things. The boys group of it was D Malay. We were Rainbow Girls, and then there was also a group called Job's Daughters. And it Masonic youth groups was how I was raised, in learning how to do service and to serve others. And always wanted my daughter to be a part of that, and she wanted nothing to do with that. Of course, now all these years later, technology has kind of taken over a lot of the stuff where they have more time, they have more things. She was into martial arts and was state champion in Taekwondo in the state of Nevada 2 years in a row. And we traveled doing world championships and all kinds of crazy things. But service is something that you can do without having to contribute a lot of funds. I know a lot of people say, well, I can't help people. I don't have enough money. I can barely help my own family. Well, yes, but there are things that you can do. Example, I got a phone call from somebody that needed some assistance on finding a way to move her children from foster care in Florida to foster care here. And all I did was I put out a message to the people that I knew that may be connected with some kind of foster care or kids or the church or different things. And we actually found somebody to be able to take these two little kids and get them moved out here so that they can go through the court system and she can get her kids back. So, I
Wow.
mean, there's so many things that you can do. If somebody needs help with something, reach out to people and ask other people that need help. I know we had a lot of the guys this weekend were helping out with car challenges that people were having with their cars, and the guys went over and weeded some of the yards of some of the people that needed help getting the yards weeded. They helped me tremendously on a lot of things that they help here at my house. But there are a lot of people that are happy to do service, and women, if you have not plugged in to that or to teaching your children that they need to learn to plug in to help others and serve others. You can't outgive God. You can't outserve what comes back in the satisfaction you get for being able to step up and help other people. And I just think we don't have enough people out there helping and doing what they could be doing. I think they 9 times out of 10 would rather sit on their computers or play on their phones, and it's not the same as it used to be. So step up. And my challenge to everybody, step up and find someone you can serve, something you can do to help others. And that'll make a difference. We're looking at ways to make a difference in this world. Support each other.
Yeah.
When you have a woman out there that's struggling, friends, support that person. Step up to the plate and find a way that you can help. It could be something little, something tiny, anything, but some way to lift other people's spirits. I
Yeah.
don't know. What do you think, Veronica?
You know what? Mentoring women and girls, it just means guiding, supporting, empowering them so they can grow personally and academically and professionally. It's about sharing knowledge and building confidence in that individual and just helping them overcome barriers that women and girls they often face because a lot of times they really don't talk about things. I was watching a video today, just a short, like 30-second video, and the woman was teaching her child um, the acronym PANTS, PANTS, and it had something about it's P stands for this, A stands for, N stands for, and whatnot. And excuse me, and it was talking about how your private parts, or just that little support, and telling this little girl that what, no one's supposed to touch you, or if somebody tries to, you got to say something so something can be done. And I just thought like that was something of sharing the knowledge and building the confidence in that little child. So what does mentoring look like? If you're going to mentor someone, it's listening and support. I remember you talking about Rainbow Girls. I think I was in Brownies. I think I only lasted a couple months. I don't ever remember selling cookies. I don't ever remember, going on little trips and whatnot. It was very, very short lived. But I knew there was a little brown uniform, and we're told that was many moons ago. But I find it very funny in a way, Rainbow Girls, because I never heard of Rainbow Girls.
Right, right,
And, you're saying that was a spinoff from the Masonic, I guess the Masonic temple, and your father was in the
right.
Mason. Um, but you know what, with mentoring an individual and listening and support and providing just a safe space to talk about challenges, these young children, I look even more and I see that their faces are in iPhones and they're in iPads, and it just does something so horrible to the brain. That's why, my granddaughter's not allowed to have any type of electronic. So they don't want that little 2-year old, scrolling and looking up and down and this and that. And you know what? You really got to think about that, because I remember Steve Jobs saying one time from Apple, he said, I would never give my child an iPhone. And I mean, that had to say something, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If somebody that created this product that we now all use, and
Yeah.
some people feel like they can't live without on a moment's notice. If I leave my phone behind, I don't turn around and go back to the house and get it. But
Yeah.
I'll bet you most people do,
Yeah.
because they're that
Yeah.
attached. But and how are you going to mentor Gunner and Chance that I've been working with here? Um, just we'll pick something new to learn how to cook. Kids aren't learning how to cook. Kids aren't learning how to sew. There's so many things. We went to the library the other day and we were looking at the activity wall at the library, and they had things like learn Korean. That
Mm-hmm.
classes, learn Korean, learn to crochet, learn all these things, that a lot of things like sewing and crocheting are almost a lost art. Whereas it
Yeah.
used to be
Yeah.
years ago, we had home ec where you learned how to do cooking and
Mm-hmm.
sewing. And I remember having projects in school, but we're talking about 60 years ago now. So but I remember having projects in school where you learn
Yeah.
those skills. There's no one teaching those skills. I will have to laugh though, because they were asking a question about learning how to do something the other day. And I said, I bet there's a YouTube video for that. And sure enough, I
Yeah.
looked it up and there was an instructional YouTube video. And the only reason I
Right.
brought that up was I had a friend who was learning how to do different things like changing oil and do different things. And that's how they were learning. They would go to
Yep.
YouTube and watch a bunch of instructional
Yeah.
videos on there on how to do things. So I know it's a different kind of education that the kids are getting today. um, their classes in school are so different than they were years ago.
Yep.
And one of the girls was saying that they just watch movies in their
Mm-hmm.
class, that they don't actually do math or English or whatever it is. They actually, the teacher puts on a movie, you know.
That's
And I'm
crazy.
thinking, how are our kids getting educated? How are they learning how to read? How are they learning how to do math? The things that they really need to know. And somebody says, well, every phone has a calculator on it, but
Yep.
you still need to know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. You have to have some basic skills.
Yeah, you know what? And it's crazy because I'm watching my 2-year-old granddaughter, and I love the fact that my daughter-in-law and my son, they are teaching her. She has little plastic knives. I mean, they're just how to chop something or how to pick up after herself. Or once she reads a book, she puts it back. Or, learning the clock or the months of the year, her singing January, February, March, and April. And she goes to this little tune. And I mean, they pick up so much, but let these babies run outside, play in the dirt, roll around. I mean, I used to eat dirt when I was a kid. I, I remember making mud pies. I remember my mother, crocheting and knitting, and she would sew. She would make all our clothes. I mean, my father worked. My mother was a homemaker and stayed at home. She made my sister's bride wedding gowns and bassinet for the new babies coming into the family. But you know what? Why does mentoring matter?
Well, it's number one.
And
I
why
really
would
think
it matter
men.
to you, Renee? I know it can increase.
Well, it matters to me because I believe that the knowledge we've gained throughout our lives is an important part of what we can give and
Hmm.
share to give back. And a lot of it is just lost
Right.
stuff that no one's teaching anymore. So if we can step up to the plate and help these
Yeah.
kids learn some skills that maybe they didn't realize they had. Another thing was things like learning how to manage their money, learning how to
Yeah.
start a savings account or a retirement account when they're young. All those things that I never learned those things when I was younger. I mean, my first retirement account
Yeah.
started when I was 50.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think in teaching them basic skills that they can use continually as they go through their life and their careers, and maybe changing, let them know that if they decide they want to be a teen pop singer right now and later on they become a nurse. I mean, it's okay to change careers. Some of these
Yeah.
kids think if they can't make up their mind about what they want to do because they think they're going to have to do it forever. They
Yep.
need to know that life changes, things happen, and you can shift and make different things happen in your life and choose to do that at any time. And then of course, I think it's so important to make sure they get involved in church and fellowship and are around other people because we're so isolated.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
work from our homes, we hang out, we don't go anywhere, unless it's an event or something, and some kind of fellowship so that they're getting to know kids that they want to hang
Yeah.
out with.
Yeah.
I used
There's,
to have friends that would say pray for your kids' friends because you
yeah.
don't want them hanging out with the wrong crowd. And boy, that's so true.
Yep.
If they end up hanging out with the wrong crowd, that can determine changes in their life because they're getting mentoring badly. So,
Yeah.
pick and choose things that are going to lift up your kids. That would be my
Yeah. There's
suggestion.
absolutely no socialization or anything like that. And it's sad, but you know, this is today's world. It's just like even with mentoring women. I mean, when you mentor women, and because a lot of people, I had a woman come up to me. She's like, you know what? I need to find a really good friend who I could meet up with and have coffee with or tea, and meet up and just go have a glass of wine and watch some music. It's just like everybody's like seems to be disappearing, and I just don't understand. Well, yeah, I do understand,
Yeah, you
but
do.
or it's just a craziness in this world. And but the women, I mean, women stick together. Women are helping other women. And it's just some of the qualities of a good mentor, a female woman mentor. They're patient, they're kind, they're honest, they're encouraging, they're respectful. I mean, I find myself at times, hey, I just got to pick up the phone, so I give you a shout and like, hey, like, how's your day? Even if we talk for 5 minutes,
Right.
it's just a lot of women are not talking in general, and it's just a shame that there should be so much more of it. Get together for a girls' day or a spa day or go get a pedicure or just be out with a friend. Uh,
Right. I agree. I
so
agree. And it can be such a challenge. You think about oh well, hey, you could have had an Oscar party yesterday. The
yeah,
Oscars were on last night. We could have had an Oscar party, and had some friends over to watch the
yeah,
Oscars that went way over their time limit last night. But the cool thing about stuff like that is you can actually kind of compare notes, see what's going on. I know pre-Oscars, we got a list of movies from AARP to vote
hmm
on what we thought was going to be the ones that won. Well, I
right,
had only seen two of the best pictures, and one my grandson referred to me. It was The Sinners, And I don't watch horror flicks, and I know you said it's not a horror flick, but it's got
I thought
vampires
it
and
was a
it's a
great
horror flick to
movie.
me. But it was a good movie. It was a good movie, but it wasn't what my normal taste would be. But I'll tell you what, Michael B. Jordan did such a great
He
job.
was
I was very
amazing.
excited to see he won Best Actor. I mean, he did an excellent job playing twin brothers. And but the other one that I saw was on streaming last week, and it was Begonia. And I thought that was 2 hours that I will never get back in my life ever again.
Oh,
So that would be one that I would check off the list. Now,
right.
Emma Stone did a great acting job in it. She was phenomenal, but the movie
Mm.
itself I thought totally sucked.
Let me ask you,
Other
what
ones I
movie won
want to
Best
see other
Picture?
ones.
What?
One day after another, the one about DiCaprio was in, and they had a lot of new talent in, a lot of artists in. It was great. It was a very action flick. I haven't seen it.
Really?
My brother saw it. He thought it was a good movie, but I saw that it's on streaming, so I'm going to try to get through some of the movies. But they expanded the category where there were actually 10 movies in the best picture category, where it's usually 5 or 6, and
Wow.
10 movies. So that was weird.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they
And
did
what was
open
that
up
called?
though one battle after another.
Okay,
One
I'll
battle
have to
after
check it
another,
out.
I think. Yeah. And it won Best Picture. Sinners won a lot of awards. So did One Battle After Another. And then there were some kind of surprising oddness. They said Hamnet was really, really, really good. I haven't seen it yet, but they said it was very good. And but what I was excited about last night, speaking of women, is
Yeah,
the very first award ever given for casting in movies. And
yeah,
I think
yeah,
casting is an important part of whether a movie is going to succeed or not by putting the right people in
yeah.
place. Was won by a woman, and just the fact that that award was something that um, not only didn't exist, but women were not featured in that category normally either. And well, that was all, true with a lot of the people that were in the award segments last night. So it was pretty exciting. I was glad I stayed up to watch it. Of course, you can watch it on Hulu today or anytime after. And I have to tell you, the girls were so excited because K-pop Demon Hunters won Best
Yeah.
Animated Movie and Best Song. No, out of all songs
I
and
know.
all
I've seen
scores and
that all
all
over the
music,
place today.
it won for best. So the girls were really
Yeah,
excited
there was a
about
lot of
that, and I wanted
firsts.
them to see it. Yeah.
There was definitely a lot of firsts. And what happened was I was flicking through the channels and I seen on the end part. This is how I came to watch Sinners. I caught the tail end of Sinners. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to watch it. I want to watch it from the beginning. Then I saw the Oscars and I seen he won, but I didn't watch the whole Oscars. But you know
Oh,
what?
okay.
Excuse me. Um, when I started watching it and understanding it, I mean, it was a supernatural horror because if you notice in the dancing scene, you saw people from Africa, you saw people
Yep.
today, they're twerking and everything. And I just thought that was so cool because I felt like it mixed Southern Gothic, the gangster drama, and the music. I love the music, vampire horror, all in one story. I did not find that it was more as much as of a horror film as opposed to a vampire movie. I never had a clue that it was a vampire. Even when the vampire, who I thought was the devil, because they kept talking about it from when the young boy went into the church
The
and
church.
was talking to his father. He says, I'm going to go play music. I
Yeah.
thought it had something to do with the devil. And then I started seeing everybody start biting everybody and bleeding them out. And I'm like, well, I can't believe this. But I mean, I started researching, the Mississippi Delta, the supernatural,
Yeah.
the Jim Crow era, and really understanding. But I thought, I mean, the special effects, it kind of reminded me of Do you remember the movie Werewolf in London? Where where the
Yes.
werewolf bit the guy's face all up and he ripped him apart, but it looked fake. It looked fake. Other than that,
Yeah.
I thought the movie was really good. I love the actors. I thought, you know what? I feel like we're talking about the movies. Like those two guys used to talk about the movies back in the day. I can't remember their names, but
Yes.
Michael B. Jordan did phenomenal. What a phenomenal! I mean,
Yeah, he really
and
did.
Haley Steinfeld and the I can't say her name. One Me Musaka. There was a lot of Asian, a lot of firsts for Asian Koreans in the Oscars. I just
Koreans.
thought it was,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I just thought it was. I thought it was really good. I really did. I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
I
I was
liked
I
it.
was impressed. And the thing I love about streaming today is you can go on and see anything later on. You don't have to be stuck in front of your TV. If I have a house full of people, I don't have to worry about watching it now. I can watch it, if I go to bed and watch it in bed or watch it the next day. And I do love that about technology and streaming, that
Yeah,
we're not stuck.
yeah.
Because I remember in the olden days, if a show
Olden
was on
days.
at 7 o'clock on Sunday, you were in
Oh,
front of the TV set at 7 o'clock
yeah,
on Sunday. Or if
right.
you had a family night where you all watched something, Disney that was on Sundays,
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
sitting in front of the TV at that time. So streaming, I think, has given us a lot more freedom on one hand.
Right.
On the other hand, it just seems to be a little overkill on streaming too, as far as how much time people stand in front of their phones and stuff. But
You know what I actually did? I caught like a
Mm.
freedom day. I just shut my phone off one day and you know what? I don't need it. The only thing why I carry my phone is because my whole life I don't carry a pocketbook or a purse and I don't carry an over the shoulder anything. But I have my, all my, it's like my whole life is in this little
yeah,
phone
mine
pocket,
too. Mine
and
too.
there's where I have everything, it's
Yeah.
just, even down to, how many times do you use cash? A lot of times I just basically carry a card. I mean, I
Yeah.
have emergency cash, but it's like I just throw that
Well,
in my
there's
pocket.
places that we went to the races a couple weeks ago, and the
Yeah.
parking lot didn't take cash.
Uh-huh.
So if you wanted to go into this racing event, you had to have a card. And of course,
Right.
my card was buried in the back because I wasn't taking a person. And so I had cash ready and they wouldn't take the cash.
Oh
So,
gosh.
yeah, so there's more and more places. Well, it's like the cruise ships, when we went cruising last year, and, very, very much aware they don't do cash on cruise ships because
Yeah.
the number of theft that happens in businesses with people handling money is crazy.
Wow.
So it's just so much easier not to deal with any of that. And a lot of facilities are going to that now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of something that we're going to be dealing with in the new years ahead. But I think there's so many people out there with International Women's Month this month. I think there's so many people out there. I mean, look at the actresses and actors over the years that, we've seen in movies. I know Audrey Hepburn is one of your favorites. Barbara Streisand
Yeah.
was always one of my favorites.
Oh,
Diane
she's one of
Keaton, who
mine.
passed last year.
Yeah.
Diane Keaton, who passed last year. I liked her basic human sensibility about things.
Yeah.
There's so many different people
Who was the other
in the
one?
industry.
Catherine, the
Katharine
comedian
Hepburn.
No, no, oh my God, she did Schitt's Creek and
Oh
Home
yes,
Alone.
yes, yes. I know exactly.
Catherine O'Hare, was it O'Hare?
O'Hare. Yeah, yeah.
I'll tell
I
you
think
what. Let
so.
me tell you something.
She's amazing.
If you ever watch Schitt's Creek, oh my God, she is the ultimate funniest individual, and she's going to be sadly missed. I'll tell you
Yeah,
what.
I don't. I've
Yeah,
never watched it, so I don't know
you
what
have
what
to.
what
You
it's
really
about.
have to.
But we'll have to pick that as one in the future,
It's
I guess.
hilarious. It really is.
I'm still watching my Golden Girls reruns, so yeah.
Yes, I'm watching that too. I have to
Yes.
finish up the last season of Outlander. That's my go-to, and the U.S. Marshals is a spinoff of Yellowstone.
Oh yes, I
So,
just finished watching episode 3 today, this
oh,
morning.
is it on
Yes.
episode 3? Okay. Does that
Yes.
does that run on Sundays?
Yeah, it runs Sunday nights. So I watch it Mondays.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Because I caught it live actually on live TV. Not that they were live, but I didn't realize when it played and when it didn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll have to go watch that one. Very good.
Well,
Very cool.
great week. Great topic.
Yeah.
I'm glad we covered a little bit about the Oscars. That was fun today.
Yeah.
But really and truly, ladies, if you want to step up, you're going through challenges, you're going through menopause, you're going through perimenopause, you're going through different changes in your life, step up and think about helping somebody else. The easiest way to help yourself is to be a giver and a doer and to help others, because it will come back to you tenfold.
Yep.
It always does. People, have an opportunity to learn from you and your experience. And because the majority of us that are going through menopause have a little bit more experience than other people that are out there that are younger than us, we can offer up some things that can probably make a difference or a huge difference. And that allows them to pass it and pay it forward and help somebody else. So
Absolutely.
I
I
don't know.
agree.
Good day today. Thank you, Veronica.
Oh, thank you, Renee. It's been wonderful. And we're going to continue our momentum with, it's Women's Month. March is Women's Month. And we have St. Patty's Day coming up tomorrow. And
Tomorrow.
actually, probably, yeah, tomorrow's St. Patty's, March 17th.
Hey, I have a wedding. I have a wedding on Sunday.
I know you do. Congratulations to your daughter and you. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I
it's going to
wish
be
I was
exciting.
there.
It's going to be 100 degrees here in Las Vegas and for an
I'll
outside
stay here
wedding.
in Philly.
You're going to stay in Philly where it's nice and cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be
Well,
interesting
we're
for
we're
sure.
wait
So,
we're waiting for a tornado tonight, so we're
oh my
on a tornado
goodness. Well,
watch up
stay
until 8
safe.
p.m.
Get in the bathtub or
Yes,
you're in the basement, aren't you?
I'm in my basement.
Okay. All right. I was going to say go hide out in the bathtub. I heard that was a safe place.
Yeah, but we will see you here next week. Please join us with some great topics and some fun and just some everyday, chat with the ladies from Power Hour. I hope everybody has a great afternoon, great evening, and we will see you back here, same place, same time next week. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Have fun.